U.S.S. Stargazer NCC-2893. This is BlueBrixx Star Trek set 105692. It was released in December 2023 for about €40. This set consists of exactly 700 pieces which are compatible to bricks by other construction blocks companies like Lego, Kobe, Mega and so on. This is my first mid-size model by BlueBrixx. So far I have built some of their minifigure-sized Star Trek sets and also some of their huge display sets, but this here is my first mid-size model. Of course, it's smaller than those huge display models, but I think we still get to see a lot of details, so it's better than the mini-size models. Not the minifigure models, that's another scale, but there are also tiny starship models, only consisting of a handful of bricks. And I think this size is still very acceptable. What I don't like so much about the mid-size models is that their stands look quite huge. I hope once we have the completed build in reality in front of us that the stand won't be that dominant, but well, we will have to wait for that. This ship here, the Stargazer, has a place in every Trekkie's heart because it's the first ship under the command of this guy here, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. And so I hope that this model will prove itself worthy. By the way, of course, this minifigure here is not included in the set. It's an original Lego minifigure with a custom print. Alright, then let's have a look inside this box here. This is a BlueBrixx Pro set, not a special set, so we don't get digital building instructions, only these printed ones here. But Pro also means that the bricks come in numbered bags. There are 2 building sections. What's always a problem with the Pro sets is that they are produced by Xingbao. That means we don't get the best bricks. You can see here that those bricks come with quite huge injection holes. I don't think we will have any problems with the clutch power. The bricks will work perfectly fine, but they just don't look so nice. But I think once the build is complete, there won't be many visible studs. Only here on these 4 wedges. And so the huge injection holes won't be too much of a problem. What's cool about these Star Trek sets is that they, in most cases, come only with prints. So we don't have to apply stickers, which I always hate to do. Here you can see that the prints are really good quality. These 2 tiles here are still attached to a plate, which was used during the building process, that they could print on the 2 tiles at the same time. And yeah, the print aligns perfectly, or the 2 prints. So it just looks like one single print, which it actually is. But yeah, with the help of assembling the whole thing before you print on it, it really gives you a good result. And yeah, I don't know why they don't remove the plates afterwards, but It makes searching for us easier, so that's fine. Alright, then let's start with the build. I will open all the bags with the number 1 on them so far now, and then I will start with step 1. I will come back to you as soon as I see something interesting or something doesn't work like shown in the instructions. I found a bag which only contains one single piece. This, what is it? A double slope in flat gold or whatever this color is called. And the bag says, please use these new parts. This means we should use this piece here instead of another piece. And the only other double slope I could find is in this bag here. For me, it looks more or less identical. Maybe the color of this or this flat gold color is a bit different than the color of this one here. I really don't know. It looks more or less identical. Let's have a look at both pieces at the same time. I really see no big difference. Well, we will see. We already have to use this piece in step 1. So this here is the original piece and this is the replacement piece. And well, I really can't find any difference. For me, they look absolutely identical. I don't know. I will use the new one, but maybe there's something wrong with this one. You can see it interlocks perfectly fine. That's not a problem. I don't know why we have to use the other one. Well, who knows? Step 1-12. We have built these two segments here and now we have to interlock them with each other. When we have a look at the instructions, we get a little note here. Please do not press components too tightly. I have never seen this before in the instructions of a building block set. Well, then let's do this. What's not too tightly? Is this the right amount of pressure? I don't know. Step 1-19. I think now we get to know why we were not allowed to interlock these components here too tightly. So what we want to do now is to interlock this segment with the segment that we built before. And I think this tiny gap between this plate and those rings is necessary, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to interlock these two segments without a problem. Step 1-26. In this step we have to build this little segment here. It's part of the stand. And it's always annoying to build something like this. It's always annoying to combine a lot of bricks with a long Technic axle. It's often not so easy to slide those bricks down the whole way. And it's also often the problem that we don't know how long the parts of the axle that are still visible have to be. But in this case, we get this little image down here, which is exactly in the scale 1:1. So we can hold our segment next to this image, and then we can see that the parts of the axle which are still sticking out of this whole construction here are in the exact right length. Step 1-63. We have completed the first building section. What we have assembled so far is the stand and the core of the ship, to which now we are going to add the warp nacelles and the saucer section. That means now I have to open all the bags with the number 2 on them, and then I can continue with step 2-1. Step 2-31. I was searching this piece here for quite a while, this 2x8 plate with print on its side, and I simply couldn't find it. It took me way too long to recognize that it is already attached to this 2x8 brick here. Damn. Step 2-50. Now it's time for these rounded tiles with print. And, well, this also means that we have to remove them from this black 2x2468 plate. And I think it's always funny how this is shown in the instructions. They want us to throw the plate in the bin. Of course, I'm not going to do this. I will keep this piece in my collection. When we are done with step 2-71, we reach 2 quite strange steps. There is nothing else to do than to simply rotate the ship. So in step 2-72, we rotate the ship like this. And now in the next step, 2-73, we turn the ship back like this. Now we can connect the ship. It's done with the help of this cross-shaped hole here on the underside of the ship, which we connect with the Technic axle of the stand. And when we have done this step 2-74, we reach step 2-75, where there's nothing else to do. This is the final step. After that, our build is complete. This is our completed Constellation class ship, and I can say it's a sturdy and quite impressive looking model. What I don't like so much is the stand. It's, as expected, a bit too big for this little model here. The stand itself, or the base of the stand, is it's in the shape of a Starfleet communicator, like we have seen them in the Next Generation series. I think I would have preferred if it was in black and maybe not in such an eye-catching shape. I would say a simple black oval shape would have helped the look of the whole build here. What's quite cool is that we got this huge tile here. It's a printed black. But sadly, there's not much information on this black. We get to see the Next Generation logo and the name of the ship, and then only the length of the ship. They could have added a bit more information. The ship itself really looks cool. It comes very close to the original. Let's have a look at it and Let's find out what we can recognize on this ship. So this here is the main bridge. This back here might be the auxiliary bridge. Maybe you should take everything that I say with a grain of salt. I'm not too familiar with this ship. Then here we got the phaser banks. This is one of the hangar bays. The original ship has a lot of doors for the hangar bays, and I think this here is the main door. This here, I guess it's supposed to be oh my god, the lounge for the crew. For the crew of the bridge. How do you call them? Oh, come on. The officers' lounge. Yeah. Here in the back, we got the 4 warp nacelles. Here in red, these are the impulse engines. Oops. And now I think we have to remove the ship from the stand to have a better look on the underside. This should be quite easy. We only have to pull it off the Technic axle. Yeah. And here on the underside, we get to see, I think these are the deflectors. I don't know what this is. Maybe the observation deck, but I'm not sure about this. This here is supposed to be the tachyon pulse emitter. And yeah, I think this is more or less everything I know about this ship. For 40 euros we get well-designed and sturdy construction block set. I think the warp nacelles maybe are not the most sturdy part of the whole build, but we really would have to force it to detach them from the rest of the build. It's absolutely sturdy enough. I like all the prints, they are great quality. Here also the name of the ship. I think we can also find a print on the underside, yeah. And here's some more of the prints on the sides. The brick quality is absolutely fine. Of course, these are not Go bricks or Lego bricks, but I didn't have a single problem with the bricks. As I expected in the beginning, of course, we get to see huge injection holes on these wedges here, and there are 2 more wedges on the back side of the ship. So one is here with an injection hole, and one is here. The other injection holes visible on this model are the holes on these gold bars. Of course, in this case, these are not gold bars. They are in another color, but it's the shape of a gold bar. We got these things here in the back. On top of the ship. Also here. And if I remember correctly, also on the underside. Yeah, here are 2 more of them. and of course also here. Oh, and now I can see that here are two more visible studs. One here with an injection hole, and oh, this doesn't have an injection hole. That's cool. Yeah, but I think these are the only optical flaws of the ship, the injection holes of the used bricks. As I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of the stand, but I think that's simply my taste. I can imagine that other people are totally fine with this kind of stand. These here are the pieces which are left over. And yeah, of course you can see this one replacement part for which I still have no idea why we got it. It looks exactly the same as the part that we got before. Oh, better said, this here is the old part, and this here is the part which we replaced this with. But these pieces are identical, at least in my eyes. Yeah, I think I'm going to build more of these mid-size models. I prefer the bigger ships, or better said, the huge display models. But nonetheless, this size of models is quite neat. You can place it perfectly on your desk without needing too much space. So you can still work and won't have your whole table occupied with just a construction blocks model.